Sagittarius, what is up, y'all? How y'all doing? What is good? What it do? It's time for your October 2025 main monthly reading. So, if any of you need a personal reading, if you want, you can always go straight to my website, tarotwithrich.com. But I do have a link right down here in the description of this video. Most people prefer my general personal readings, probably just because they're so cheap, but also they're really quick, easy, and efficient. You ain't got to ask me nothing. You ain't got to tell me nothing. You can if you want, but you don't have to. All you really got to do is click what you want me to read and let me do the rest. But I do offer a lot more than that, and you can read up about everything else I have to offer on my website. Link is in the description. All right, let's jump into this. Let's see what's happening with the single Saggies and the person that you're interested in. What's happening, Captain? Anything good happening? Anything bad happening? Anything happening at all? Boom. Oh, damn. Straight out the gate. That means that you're feeling like you're wasting your time. 7 of Pentacles in the reverse. Okay, Hangman. No forward movement. 2 of Wands. No decision being made. Some of you, we got the Page of Swords and the Page of Pentacles here. Maybe you're just dealing with somebody that's an immature communicator. I don't know, man, but it does not look like any forward movement is happening here. That's about as stagnant as it gets right there. It don't get much more stagnant than that. Hangman, 2 of Wands. So some of you could be dealing with somebody that's very confusing, sending you mixed signals, hot and cold, on and off, acting one way one day, another way another day, saying one thing one day, another thing another day. And you're just really, it's not saying that you're walking away. So I don't know if you're doing that or not, but you're starting to lean in and go ahead and give in to the idea that you're just wasting your time. All right, well, let's see how they really feel about you. What are their truest, deepest feelings, energies, and intentions? Queen of Wands, reverse. Wow, that's weird. You know what that kind of feels like? That kind of feels like they don't trust you for some reason. Maybe Tower reversed. Maybe they're afraid that you're not really a reliable individual for some reason. But usually, well, I can't say usually, because it really does depend on the situation. But I think that this person is probably projecting some shit onto you. Maybe they're looking at you through the eyes of their past. They're comparing you to the last person that fucked them over. And there's nothing wrong with like looking for red flags and reaching back in the past and grabbing wisdom and using that to integrate that into your path moving forward. But if you're not careful and you are like desperately searching for something that confirms your worries, your fears, or your suspicions, oh, your mind will just make something up. You ever met that person? You know, oh, you have blonde hair? I got cheated on somebody with blonde hair. You know, that type of energy. Oh, you drive a Ford? Oh, the last person that drove a Ford cheated on me. Stupid shit, you know? And that comes from a place of trauma. And it definitely looks like something happened in the past that traumatized this person pretty good. They do feel an abnormally strong connection with you, though. And I honestly do think that they genuinely do have feelings for you. It's just, they're living in the past, basically. So, okay. I don't think an ending is happening. I don't really think you're walking away. You're really starting to give up on this, though. Let's get the advice. What's the advice for Sagittarius? What's the advice? I knew it. Time to have that conversation. Time to have that conversation. By the time, well, it shouldn't even get to the point where you're even considering whether or not you're wasting your time. But when you start leaning into that energy, it's about time to say, what are we doing? What are we doing? Where is this going? Are we doing this or are we not? Because I don't know how long y'all been dealing with this person. From what I've seen over the past few months, most people out there are dealing with a love interest way longer than they fucking should. Way longer. But, yeah, this will continue to persist and the tension will build until it eventually just blows up and turns into some conflict, I think. Time to have that conversation, though. Isn't this the same story that came through last time for September? I don't remember which sign it was. I'm like 85 to 90% sure it might have been Sagittarius. I know I told one sign last month that I wouldn't let this go into October without knowing where this is going. I don't remember if that was you, but it's time. It's time. October, it's time. We got to have that conversation. Where are we going with this? If a decision is not made, it's pretty much too late. So, all right. Let's see what's due to come in next for the singles. Who's the next person due to come in for the single Saggies? Boom, boom, boom. Hang on. Could be an earth sign for some of you. Probably somebody that's very comfortable being single. They may be somebody who's been single for a while. Yeah. Yeah, that's going to be probably that's probably going to be the biggest hurdle energetically here between you and this next person coming in. Is I don't know if they just finally made a solid decision to be and stay single, or if they've just been single for a real long time. I kind of feel like they've been single for a long time. And maybe they just don't really know how to act in the dating world, you know? Don't really know how to function, don't really know what to say. So, could be a Taurus for some of you. And we got the Hangman again. It's going to cause a little bit of a hurdle here. Things are going to move kind of slow in the beginning. I'm trying to figure out, is this even going to get up off the ground? Is this even going to take lift off? Let's see their feelings. Feelings, energies, and intentions. What's their truest, deepest feelings, energies, and intentions? Chariot. Yeah, see? Same card I showed you in the last spread. They're very comfortable being single. I think I can't throw a blanket over that for everybody, but I feel like for the majority of you, they've been single for a while, like a while. And I think a lot of that has been by choice. A lot of it. A lot of it has. So maybe they're just a little bit rusty. They mean well, though. They do mean well. You might intimidate them a little bit, too. You might intimidate them just a little bit. But, I mean, their intentions are solid. Maybe you're a little bit much for them. Maybe they see you as a little extra and a little over the top. Very guarded, too. Very, very guarded and defensive. I just feel like this person's shy. Very shy. Very, very shy. I wouldn't say they have bad intentions, though. Just been single too damn long. Alright, well, let's get the advice. If that's 7 of Wands, 5 of Wands, I don't really need to pull an outcome spread. I can pretty much tell you where that's going. Let's get the advice. Uh-oh, devil. Try not to let it turn into a sex-based connection. And I know that's a very general piece of advice. That's hard to do. But this is going to take patience. This is going to take patience. There's a lot of potential here. There's potential for this to turn into the most amazing thing that's ever happened to you. But on the other hand, there's also potential for this to turn into just another toxic shit show. It's going to take patience. Now, don't ever think that you're going to get into a relationship with no challenges, no obstacles, no problems. Now, when I say that, I mean within the boundaries of morality and common human decency. I don't mean... Have you ever met that couple that they'll say, oh, me and this person have had our ups and downs, and it's like, you mean domestic violence and cheating and restraining orders, and that ain't ups and downs. That's get the fuck out of here. That's not what I mean. Cheating, domestic violence, restraining orders, and all that. That's not ups and downs. That's get the fuck out. Within the boundaries of morality and just common decency and just common human behavior, no relationship is going to be without ups and downs, challenges, obstacles, and problems. And it's all about being patient with each other and working through that shit together. Working through it together. If y'all can figure out how to do that, man, this could turn into a very successful life partnership. If not, well, you get the idea. You've been there before. So, communication, dude. I'm going to tell you what, I know it sounds cheesy. It's not cheesy. Communication is so important. Make sure you're focusing on forming a good, tight, solid friendship with this person. If you want to build a life motherfucking partnership, y'all better be best friends. You better be. You know why you want to be friends with the person you're building a life with? It's not just so we enjoy each other's company. That's important too. It's not just so we can have common interests. We enjoy doing things together. We like hanging out with each other. Those things are very important, but that's not the main reason why you want to be best friends with your life partner. You want to be best friends with your life partner because your best friend is the one person that you can confide in and talk to about anything. Anything. There should not be one person that you have to run to because you can't talk to your partner about something. If there is, that is a big problem. So I'm not saying ignore the emotional aspect of the connection. I'm saying don't ignore the friendship aspect. Because I got news for you. You know that crazy, invigorating explosion of emotions that you get when you very first meet a new person? It's so invigorating and it's so intoxicating, and it makes you forget about all your other problems in life, makes you forget about all your insecurities, makes you forget about how lonely you feel. That feeling is going to wear off. It's going to wear off. That feeling is not love, and that feeling is not permanent. So if you think you're going to lay the foundation on that feeling alone, that's the leading cause of relationship failure. All right, now we're going to see what's going on with the current long-term partner. So if you're not in a long-term relationship, this is not for you. If you are in a long-term relationship, but the two of you are not experiencing problems, this is not for you. Let's see what's happening. Oh, one jumped out on the floor. Ooh, justice reverse. Could be some legal issues for some of you. Could be a Libra. Ooh, judgment reverse too. I don't know why I'm getting real hardcore legal issues energy in here. I know that's not all of you though. It doesn't look like the two of you balance each other out very well. There could be financial issues causing problems. But the only cup, no, I have two cups on the table. The only cup in the upright is the Page of Cups. The Ace of Cups is reversed. You may find yourself not even sure whether or not you even love this person anymore. You may be grappling with the thought of wondering whether or not you even love them. And you can't even tell whether or not this person even cares. It just kind of looks and seems like they don't really give a shit. Could be an Aries for some of you. Could be a fellow Sagittarius. Also have Cancer, Libra. All right. Well, I don't see an ending happening here. I don't see that. But I am kind of seeing you debating whether or not you're even in love with this person. Debating whether or not you think they even love you. Let's see how they feel about you. Current long-term partner. What are their truest, deepest feelings, energies, and intentions? High Priestess. Well, Ace of Cups. It looks like they love you. Nine of Pentacles, though. Maybe they just don't really know how to express it. Don't really know how to show it. They have some major self-esteem issues. Very low self-confidence, little to no self-esteem. Emotionally immature. They love you. I think they're kind of starting to get the idea that maybe you don't love them. They're starting to feel that. And I think it bothers them. It does bother them. But you probably don't know that that bothers them, do you? I don't really think they know. They either don't know how to express it or they're just afraid to express it to you. Like maybe they're afraid that you just won't care. Or maybe they just don't know how to express it. It's the only thing I can think. But no, they love you more than you know. I think so. I think so. Let's see what signs I have on the table. Do I have any? I got Aries, Cancer, and that's it. Could be anybody. Those are just energies. Well, dadgummit. Let's grab the advice then. What's the advice for Sagittarius and the current long-term partner? Ooh, well, first of all, first things first. Emotional independence needs to be the framework between two people. That's one thing that's so hard for people to grapple with. Emotional independence doesn't mean alone. It means I don't depend on anyone to make me feel the way I want to feel. That doesn't mean that you don't do what you can to be there for your partner. It doesn't mean they don't do what they can to be there for you. What it means is when it all comes down to it, when the sun goes down and the moon comes up, at the end of the fucking day when the cows come home, my happiness is my responsibility. Your happiness is your responsibility. It's not your job to create my happiness for me. It's not my job to create your happiness for you. Not only is that not your job, but it's impossible. That's the foundation, the framework that needs to be laid. It's impossible for another person to create happiness for another person. And so as long as that's understood, as long as that framework is there, I kind of feel like an honest conversation needs to be had here. Like a calm, cool, respectable, serious, honest conversation. Right? So that both of you are really transparent with your concerns, how you feel. Because this could be saved. This could be turned into something successful. But if not, oh man, this is just going to keep getting worse and worse and less stable and less stable. Yeah. I mean, they love you more than you know. They do. I mean, you can't make someone express their feelings a certain way. You can express your concerns, you know? And when you express your concerns, you want to make sure that you do that like a calm, cool, respectable adult. That's one thing that you see that causes a lot of problems in relationships today, is you hear people say things like, every time I try to express how I feel, you think I'm arguing with you. But a lot of times, if you just step back and observe, 9 times out of 10, every time I hear somebody say that, if you pay attention, it's like a dog would bite you if you was talking to it the way you're talking to that person. You can't come at somebody aggressive, angry, bitchy, shitty, rude, and nasty and expect them not to defend themselves. You can't do that. You know? You can't attack and then belittle the person for defending themselves. You know, you see a lot of, I'm not saying you're going to do that. I'm just saying generally the general framework that needs to be laid. If I'm going to express my concerns to you, I need to make 100% sure that I'm delivering it in a way that you'll receive it. Now, is it possible that I could deliver a message to you as calm, cool, and collected as possible, and you could still defend yourself and start a fight? Yes, that is possible. Most of the time, that's not the case, though. Sometimes. Most of the time, it's not, though. Most of the time, the reason why it turns into an argument is because the person expressing their concerns is doing it in a very, very aggressive, angry, bitchy, rude, shitty manner. Okay? So as long as the two of you are talking to each other like grown adults, I think these guards could come down. They should come down. And this could turn into something very successful. Well, I mean, it's long term, so apparently it's been successful at one point, but some sort of energetic disconnect happened here. We need to make an energetic reconnect. Because if not, it's going to keep getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse and worse until it's like a candle that just burns out, you know? This can be saved. We got to have that conversation, though. We got to let them guards down. Got to have that open, honest, vulnerable, uncomfortable conversation. All right? All right, y'all. I feel like those were the messages that my Sagittarius family needed to hear. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Thanks again for tuning in and playing along. Don't forget, the information for personal readings is all down here in the description. All right? I'm out of here now, y'all. I will see you sometime between now and the rest of all eternity. Stay blessed.